Good evening. My name is Kaylin Studer.
And I'm Kayla Hilton.
And this is Table 7 News.
3.
To begin our show tonight, our first topic will be the U.S. strategies during World War II. After the Battle of Midway, the United States launched a counter-offensive strike known as island hopping. The main idea was to capture islands until Japan came within the range of American bombers. This strategy was led by General Douglas MacArthur. In November 1942, established a jungle fortress around Buna and Ghana. Australians and Americans could not dislodge the dug-in Japanese because they were inexperienced with guerrilla warfare, weather, sick, and they were short on artillery and rations. On July 2, 1945, the 6th Marine Division was resting, training, and preparing for the expected invasion of the Japanese. On August 6, 1945, an atomic bomb was dropped over Hiroshima in Japan. And now, on to our co-anchor Kayla with our second topic of the night.
Hi, I'm Kayla Hilton, and today we'll be talking about Homefront, more specifically, what women did during World War II. Before the war started, women stayed home, cared for the kids, and looked after the home. When the war started, men went off to war, and women had to take jobs to support their family. They took jobs making parts for planes, tanks, and various other military machinery. To encourage the many women out there, the government came up with a character called Rosie the Riveter. This was called propaganda. The people who worked in factories after Rosie were called Rosies. When women didn't just stop at taking factory jobs, some of them joined the armed forces. Over 350,000 women joined, serving at home and overseas. First Lady Roosevelt was impressed by the number of women in service, and General George Marshall supported the idea of women in service. Later, Congress instituted a branch of the Army called Women's Army Corps. It had full military status.
Today, many Jews are killed in concentration camps.
One of my childhood friends was taken from her home and put to a concentration camp and later killed. For every 24 pack of Pepsi you buy, $1 will be donated to the Save a Jew Foundation.
Save a Jew. It's worth it. Hi, my name is Megan Grant, and I am here to visit with Ishmael Shimshon, and he was kind enough to let us into his home. He was a Jew from Poland, and he was lucky enough to survive to tell us his story. Now I'm here with Ishmael Shimshon. How are you doing?
Hello. Good, how are you?
I'm going to ask him some questions about his horrible tragedy. Where were you born, Ishmael?
I was born in Krespice, Poland.
And how many brothers and sisters do you have?
I had 3 brothers and 3 sisters, so we had a very big family.
Were you ever beat up while you're walking down the streets? Because I know Jews are pretty beat down.
I personally was almost beat up, but I was able to get away. There were many Jews that were not as lucky as I was.
Why were mothers so respected back then?
Mothers were more expected because they had courage to pick up their kids from school, and they kept everyone's spirits up during this hard time.
When you moved into the new city, what was it like?
At first, I was unsure about the new city, but when the Germans showed up, I knew that it was trouble from the beginning.
What was it like to have to wear a yellow star on your arm?
I felt that it felt that us and our religion was being disrespected when they did this. It almost felt like they were making fun of us.
Now, I know you had to go and build a highway for Hitler. What was that like?
It was very hard labor. We had to work in very poor conditions, and we were treated very poorly as well.
And I know they didn't give you very much food. You only got like a bread here and there, a loaf of it. And I know I heard you saved it and you crumpled it up in your pocket.
Yeah, many men would eat their bread as fast as they could because they were so hungry. But it would backfire because later in the day they'd be hungry. But on the other hand, I would eat small pieces of mine so I could save it until the end.
What were your thoughts about now when German Jews helped you escape?
It all happened so fast that it's hard to recall what happened. I was told that I was in need of care at the hospital, and next thing I knew I was on a train back home. I'm extremely grateful for the men that were able to save me and get back home.
And I know that your sisters weren't as lucky to have survived like you. What were your thoughts about that?
When I found out they were killed, it almost was too hard to believe. I can't describe how much I miss them, but I'm glad that they went down fighting for their kids.
And your wife, Rachel, and her brother, when you guys escaped, you hid in a shack. Were you scared when you were hiding?
Yes, we were all terrified. We knew that if we were found by German soldiers that we would be immediately killed, but we knew that if we were to stay at the camp, we would be killed as well. So it was more chance of survival.
What are your thoughts about everything now?
Now I'm glad that I was able to stay strong through this time, and I'm deeply saddened for those whose lives were lost, but I'm grateful that I was able to live to tell the story to you guys.
Well, thank you for letting us into your home. It was nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you too.
This concludes our episode of Table 7 News. I'm Kaylin Studer.
And I'm Kayla Hilton.
Thank you for watching.
And stop Hitler.